The following is an exclusive presentation of the Carolina Panthers and the National Football League.
Mills has a touchdown! Touchdown! Here we are going to the NFC Championship game. Taken down. Ryan Burns in trouble. Flicks it out of the backfield. Picked off Pigley. Touchdown! Over the middle, intercepted. Peppers coming back the other way. Leaping grab for touchdown.
Hi everyone, and welcome inside the Panthers Huddle, powered by AWS. I'm your host, Kristen Balboni. A term we hear often in sports is controlling your own destiny. And for this Panthers team, it's straightforward. Win out the rest of the season and you're in the playoffs. But the road ahead won't be easy, and there's still some heavy lifting to do. But the good news is they've been able to do some of that lifting already. The win against Seattle proved this team can win on the road and win back-to-back games, two things they hadn't done all year. And for weeks, this team has been talking about a playoff mentality, and now that's a reality. As the wins stack, the positivity does as well. This week, kicker Eddie Pinheiro was named NFC's Special Teams Player of the Week, and defensive tackle Derrick Brown was named our 2022 Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee. Our own Panthers legend Thomas Davis will sit down with Derrick later in the show, so be sure to stick around because you do not want to miss that. But to keep the postseason hopes alive, the Panthers will have to take care of business this Sunday against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And as Coach Wilks has said, we protect the bank. Quarterback Sam Darnold, who's now 2-0 on the season, is up for that challenge.
Every game, no matter whether you're in the playoff contention or what have you, every game matters to everyone. You know, no matter if you're technically out of the playoffs or if you're fighting for a playoff spot or if, you know, you're fighting for a 1 seed. You know, it's all the same. You know, we're all professionals in the NFL, and we all want to go out there and play really good football. And that's just how it is. That's how we approach the game.
Sam's stats from the last couple games might not jump off the page, but that's okay. Against the Seahawks, Carolina rushed for 223 yards and had the ball for over 39 minutes. Couple that with forcing 2 turnovers, and that's a recipe for winning football no matter how you look at it. Let's see it all in action one last time in this week's Bojangles Rewind.
Cold December rain making its way down here at Lumen Field. It's let up a little bit. One of the toughest places to play. The Seahawks enter this game in the playoff picture in the NFC, clinging to that 7th and final spot.
This is a dream. Everything on the line today. Who are you gonna be?
Smith, the snap, rolls to his left, stops, throws, downfield, intercepted, picked off by J.C. Horn. He's got the 40, cuts it far side 35, got a block at the 30, spins inside 25, 20, cutting it to the near side, and he slips at the 15-yard line. J.C. Horn, his 3rd INT of the season, and the Panthers set up with a red zone try. The snap, the fake to Foreman, Darnold rolling to his right, throws, caught, touchdown, Shi Smith.
There it is. I mean, that was just bang of a start for our defense. Interception, then one play, good call by McAdoo, moving Darnold out of the pocket. So hear how quiet it is?
The snap, zone read, Gibbs straight up the middle, Chuba Hubbard, touchdown! And it is 16-0 Carolina.
Wow.
With 12:35 to go in the second quarter, and they're doing it right now in one of the toughest places to play in the NFL. Panthers crowd the line, 8 in the box. Now they drop one. Here's the blitz. Smith has to get rid of it. It's intercepted. Picked off by Carolina. They've got midfield. It's C.J. Henderson taking it across the 40 of Seattle. Sam under center. The snap. Deontay Foreman picks up the blitz. Downfield over the middle, and
did he catch it?
They are saying it is a catch by Terrace Marshall. The ball was thrown in the tightest of windows across the middle toward midfield. Smith in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Pressure off the edge from Luvu. Smith getting away, and down he goes. Brian Burns and Shaq Thompson meet him in the backfield. Darnold in the shotgun. There goes Chenault behind the QB. The snap. The give to Blackshear. Protects the ball. He's got the 5. Touchdown! Raheem Blackshear!
Outstanding job. Ben McAdoo, man, way to just stick to what's working.
And I'm telling you, folks, as wild as this season has been, and let this sink in, coaching changed, McCaffrey traded, Anderson traded, 3 different quarterbacks. There is still a shot. and with every passing week, it becomes less and less of a total outlier shot and a total outside shot to a real chance. They can still win the division, which means there's still the possibility of a home playoff game at Bank of America Stadium.
How about them Panthers?
This exclusive presentation of the Carolina Panthers television network is brought to you in part by Bank of America, official bank of the Carolina Panthers.
Prowling Vineyards Napa Valley is the official wine brand and wine club of the Carolina Panthers. These premium selections celebrate the great people of the Carolinas and the Panthers' hunger to achieve excellence on and off the field. Each handcrafted wine mirrors the Panthers' bold attitude, and the iconic flavors honor the 2 states we are proud to call home. Experience the benefits and lifestyle while giving back to the community, as a portion of the proceeds support the Carolina Panthers charities. Learn more at prowlingvineyards.com.
Couldn't be more proud, all right, of this group of men right here in this locker room. Hell of a job today, okay? We talked about this all week. Playoff environment, coming to Seattle, 12th man, and having a playoff mentality, okay? Everything we do starts where? Up front, controlling the line of scrimmage. And we controlled it on the offensive side of the ball for 224 yards. We said it didn't matter whether the running backs played or not. We had to stop their run. Their run gained 46 yards. Now understand, long flight back, okay? Victory Monday. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. With the understanding, we're coming in on Wednesday to work, okay? And the one thing that we have established right now, we protect the bank. We don't lose at home. We protect the bank. All right, you understand that? Sir. So come back in on Wednesday, locked in and focused, okay? Family on 3. Family on 3. Get in here tight. 1, 2, 3. Yes,
sir. Welcome back. Joined now in studio by Coach Wilks. And Coach, we just saw your video after that huge win in Seattle where you told the guys to take a victory Monday. You were proud of the way they played. I want to focus in on that playoff mentality. Okay. We talked about that last week. You preached it to them. Did they meet your expectation in that game?
Yes, they did. When you talk about the atmosphere that we played in at Seattle, it's always hard to play out there. Mm-hmm. You know, that 12th man mentality that they have is loud. And, you know, Pete does a tremendous job in getting his guys ready to play. So, you know, I commend again, you know, the men in that locker room and how we went out there and responded, you know, and came out of there with a victory.
You sure did. And as you said in this speech, what you want to do, your ethos is that everything starts up front. And that O-line did just a tremendous job. For people who have never been there, like you and I were on Sunday, what does it mean that the O-line performed the way they did in that hostile environment?
Well, I think when you talk about being in that situation, in that hostile environment, and knowing right now that, you know, we got to sit here and really run the ball in the fourth quarter to try to seal the game. And those guys are sitting here piling the line of scrimmage, and we are still able to execute. It just shows me exactly how much we bought in up front.
You know, Coach, you know it's a good game when we've gone this long and haven't even talked about your defense, right? I want to specifically ask you about J.C. Horn. He had an incredible game last Sunday. I know you're focused, though, on the future. What have you seen from him, and what do you still want him to get even better at?
Well, I think, number one, just his approach and how he goes about trying to perfect his craft. He is just so serious about ball. And, you know, a lot of guys talk about that, but he really puts the time and effort in, you know, watching tape, you know, really executing, working hard in practice. And he looked forward to that challenge last week. He looks forward to really each and every week, you know, covering the best receiver, you know. His skill set is so phenomenal. He is just really scratching the surface on how great he can be.
What do you think about his hands? Are they going to compete with his dad a little bit sometimes?
You know what? I'm not overly concerned with his hands. I think he has great hands. I just need for him to stay on his feet and go score.
Sure, fair enough. Fair enough. I know, I could tell he was a little mad at himself, and you kind of gave him that look after he didn't make it into the end zone, but it certainly set up shy for that nice touchdown. As you look toward this game with the Steelers, how difficult is it to prepare when you don't know who the quarterback's going to be?
I think you really have to go according to their scheme, and they're somewhat built like us. They're going to try to, establish the run up front, and really move the pocket a little bit with play action, and then they're going to take their shots over the top. So Trubisky as well as Rudolph, they're more than capable of executing and running this offense. So I had an opportunity to be able to coach against both of those guys on numerous occasions, and they're good football players.
And finally, Coach, you ended that locker room speech by saying that, you got to protect the bank. You don't lose at home. And a big part of that is the fans. You've been calling since Monday for the fans to show up. Wanted to give you the opportunity to do that one more time here.
Well, again, I feel like, and I'm not just saying this, I feel like we have the best fans in the NFL, and I've been here before when I've seen, the electric in that stadium, Bank of America Stadium, when you really can't even hear yourself talk with someone right beside you. So I want to make sure that our fans come out and support us, but most importantly, we want to make sure that we continue to give our fans something to cheer about.
Well said, Coach. Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you.
Coming up next, our own Thomas Davis sits down with Derrick Brown to talk about being nominated for the 2022 Walter Payton Man of the Year Award.
You don't go out and do the work that you do to try to gain recognition, but it's always good when people recognize the good works that you're doing, man. So I want to commend you for what you are doing, what you're going to continue to do, and what you are looking forward to making happen for these families, man. Great job. Congratulations.
In this week's Coke Community Spotlight, Panthers defensive tackle Derrick Brown was on hand at Veritas Community School to host a holiday gifting party. Derrick partnered with the Boys and Girls Club of Mecklenburg County to distribute gifts, engage with the youth, and most importantly, spread some holiday joy. In his third season, Derrick Brown has emerged as one of the leaders in the locker room. And not just because of his dominating play on the field, but also for his passion and commitment to making a difference off the field. As you just saw, Derrick is always looking for ways to give back to the community, and that's why he's Carolina's 2022 Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee, presented by Nationwide. Considered to be the league's most prestigious honor, the Walter Payton Man of the Year recognizes outstanding community service as well as excellence on the field. Our own previous winner, Thomas Davis, got to sit down with Derrick and speak about what it truly means to be nominated for this award.
Morning, men. Morning. The Walter Payton Man of the Year Award. Right? Many of you know the name, All-Pro, Hall of Fame, great man on and off the field, probably one of the best to ever do it. The Walter Payton Man of the Year Award is considered to be the league's most prestigious honor. Our nominee this year, he has impacted over 2,000 at-risk youth through community events and programming, over 4,000 plus families. This year's Carolina Panthers 2022 nominee, Mr. Derrick Brown.
So DB, I just want to start out by congratulating you on being the Panthers nominee for the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award. How does that feel to be recognized for the work that you've been able to do in the community?
I was excited, man, when I heard it. I think it's bigger than myself. Never with that being the goal in mind, but it's definitely nice for the recognition, for sure.
So we as players, we recognize this award literally as the highest honor, because it's not only does it recognize the amount of work that you do on the field, it totally embodies the work that you've been able to do off the field. And I think that really speaks volumes to who you are as a man, because we know what your dedication is like on the field.
Derrick Brown, knocked down by Derrick Brown. We've called Brown's name a couple of times today. Big fella, Derrick Brown comes up with the INT.
Another thing that you wanted to do was to start a scholarship fund for kids.
That was the coolest thing. I drove back, went back to my high school, got a chance to be able to give them out personally. So impactful to me, because at the end of the day, it's the opportunity that I'm searching for. For us to be able to make a scholarship that you don't have to be a kid that has the 3.8, 3.9. So many people struggle in school. To be able to have like 2.8, 2.7, be able to qualify for this scholarship. I mean, I thought that was special.
DB, I know one of the things that motivated you was watching your parents go out and do the work that they did.
I ain't grow up with everything. You know, I grew up with what I needed, and that's about how we got by. Just to be able to see that example, man. You think you ain't got it, but your mom and daddy still doing for others. That's a lesson that I need to learn.
Joined now in studio by the one and only Thomas Davis. And TD, we just watched your sit down with Derrick Brown, who was nominated for Walter Payton Man of the Year. You, of course, won the award in 2014. What does it mean to win that distinction?
It's an amazing honor, KB. As players, we know outside of winning the MVP of the league, that is the highest honor that you can win. So for me to be able to be not only nominated and be a finalist twice, to win that award, I think it was a huge honor, and it just speaks to the amount of work I've done on the field and off the field as a football player, because that's what that award recognizes.
And I know it was a big deal for Derrick to get to sit down with you when he got his nomination. What did you learn about Derrick when you were sitting down with him?
You know, I just love his passion for what he's doing. He loves giving back to the community. He loves working with kids, and a lot of what he does is directly tied to what I do as a player, or I did as a player. To be able to give back to the less fortunate, man, it just means so much more when you know that you grew up in the same kind of circumstances. And DB shared some of those same sentiments that, you know, he grew up and he watched his mom help many people out over the course of his life, and he just wanted to be able to do that as well when he had the opportunity. So I love that he's doing that tenfold with creating scholarship for kids. And the biggest thing that I love is not just creating scholarship for kids, it's kids that might not get other scholarships because they don't academically qualify.
One thing I love, and I know you do too, TD, is that he has taken his kids out when he goes and volunteers in the community from a very early age. He said, you know, my kids won't grow up like me, so I want to make sure that they have this exposure to giving back early, just like he had with his mom. But TD, Derrick and this defense were rolling on the field as well last week, and you called for it here on this show last week. So when we come back, we're going to have TD at the board to break down what this defense did so well against the Seahawks. Don't go anywhere.
Stay tuned.
This exclusive presentation of the Carolina Panthers Television Network is brought to you in part by Bank of America, official bank of the Carolina Panthers.
All right, welcome back. We are now inside TD's film room. And TD, last week you said the key to winning against the Seahawks was for this defense to turn Geno Smith over. They clearly heard you, because that is what happened, and that's what we are going to break down here today.
So Geno hasn't done that a lot this season,
No.
and we knew if we could get some turnovers, then that would set us up to be successful as a defense. And listen, we started that early in the game. We're going to show you guys, jump right into this play. J.C. Horn made an unbelievable play. A lot of times as defenders, we're told, listen, be 1/11th of the defense, do your job. But sometimes you have to go above and beyond the X's and O's and do just a little bit more. And that's what J.C. does on this play right here. As we let this play roll, you're going to see J.C. does a great job of covering his man. He has DK Metcalf down here covered, but what does he do? He gets his eyes back, he gets vision, and gets under the throw to Tyler Lockett, and he has a phenomenal return to set the offense up for the first scoring drive. So when you think about having an opportunity not only to take the ball away, but to get return yards and put the offense in scoring position, that's what it's about, and that's when you find success, KB.
He had such a great game, did a great job on DK Metcalf, but he was upset with himself. You know, I'm on the sideline. He was upset with himself that he didn't get into the end zone on that one.
Right, with his dad being the offensive force that he was, I know that he gave him a hard time about falling and not getting into the end zone, but listen, JC, 100% of the time we will take the interception and let the offense deal with the rest, all right? So let's go to this next play so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about, the kind of effort, the kind of energy that you have to play in order to win football games. Al Holcomb does a great job of devising a scheme to confuse these offensive linemen. You got all of these guys lined up front. They don't know who's coming, who's dropping, and that's literally what you want. You want to create some dissension in their mind when they have to guess or understand who's rushing. So when we let this play roll right now, Shaq Thompson does a great job of creating penetration, getting a pick on the running back, but not staying blocked. He didn't just stay there and let the running back block him. No, he uses his hand, he uses the moves that he's been taught, and he uses great effort, being relentless, and getting the quarterback on the ground, him and Burnsley. I don't know if this is a half sack. Shaq, if it's me judging or picking, that's a whole sack for you. I know the D-line come try to jump on our sack. Mario Addison used to do that to me all the time, so I know the feeling. But tremendous job by this defense of getting after Geno Smith, making him uncomfortable, and you usually don't see teams going into Seattle and doing that to them. That's usually them doing that to them, to other teams with the crowd noise. But great job by this defense, KB.
You're like a proud father breaking down those plays.
So excited because you can see it happening.
Yeah.
Tampa went out and got whooped. All of the other teams in our division got beat. Everything that we needed to happen is happening for us, but it really is going to boil down to us taking care of home, taking care of our own business, and we're on the way.
We sure are, TD. But unfortunately, that is all the time we have for today. But be sure to tune in this Sunday as the Panthers host the Steelers. Kickoff is at 1 o'clock. And if you can't make it out to the stadium, CBS will have the TV broadcast, and you can catch me and the rest of the radio crew on 99.7 The Fox locally. So, on behalf of the one and only Thomas Davis, on behalf of Coach Wilks and our entire Huddle crew, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time right here inside the Panthers Huddle.
Keep pounding.
You've been watching the Panthers Huddle, a copyrighted presentation of the Carolina Panthers and the NFL.